What's going on, everyone? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, and we got a very exciting episode ahead of us where we're going to look at a lot of interesting stuff. We're going to be ready for both, and we're only going to trade what is happening. I want to break down for you what is happening right now in front of us. Everybody in a good mood. I like that. Hey, Dominic, I do appreciate that very much. Right back at you. You guys are all awesome. Glad to be here with you. S&P 500, right? So if you followed the last video last night, then you know that you should have taken profit right here on that long. We tried to position, or anyone that was looking to position yesterday during the live stream, short right over here. Right? If you're paying attention to the analysis, right? What's been happening is this was clearly, guys, everyone be on the 8-hour time frame. Just make sure you're on the site right in the market by taking the higher highs and lower low. And you had a beautiful trade down to here. Then, nothing, not too much over here, right? But you stayed on the right side of the market. Then again, another nice trade. And now again, just getting out of the market, but a little bit of profit with only this right here. One loss. And more importantly, I told everyone, if we make the higher high over here, you have to get long. You have to stay on the right side of the market. That was made back right there in the next moment. Here we are right now. Where does that lead us is why this was all leading up to where we are right now. Should you have gotten short here? No. There's no way you should have gotten short over here. Why? Well, we just held this support over here, right? The risk to reward now is to the upside. This is below that trend line. You're wrong over here. But the risk to reward now is towards the upside, where that's where you want to be leaning in as we are bouncing off that support, coming back now into this next area of support. If we resume up off of here, you want to be long. This is in my opinion. You want to be long. We are in a shortened holiday week. Thursday's last day of trading. We're in Tuesday. So today and tomorrow is like the meat of the week right over here. If you start resuming up, definitely want to be long. What about on the downside? You just want to stay neutral right now. You want to stay neutral, see when you resume up. If you resume up, and if you don't resume up, then you stay out of the market and out of the trade. If you look at the 3-day over here, you could see, right? If we break down below this trend line, right? Take out that low, then we have much more pressure here. But right now, it looks as if this support over here is holding. If you get a resumption upwards, you want to be involved in that resumption upwards. Would you take another test of the channel long? Let's take a look at it, by the way. Yeah, 100%. If right now, as this support area is holding, any resumption upwards, definitely taking. Do I feel like Bitcoin is 7 days behind gold? Yeah, it just seems in a correlation, which I wouldn't, think is going to last too long. It seems to me right now that gold is doing the hard work and gold is leading the way. That comes against silver. It comes against all other precious metals. Silver having a beautiful day today as well. Look at that. It's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch right here. Gold and silver getting ready here. Looking like, to me, they're getting ready for a big move. Now, that's not to say that over the next 6 weeks, we don't run into some severe problems with the economy and we see even gold come off and silver come off a little bit. But the response is going to be, the next move is going to be more stimulus or more printing. We're talking about the Fed. Is the Fed going to expand their balance sheet to $10 trillion, and when? It's almost a certainty. Yes, they will. The when is the question that we need to be looking at and asking. That's what we need to be watching. It's a great environment for gold. It's a great environment for Bitcoin. This is the environment that Bitcoin was built for. All right, we're going to take a look at this chart of Bitcoin and the average person who's been holding Bitcoin for a year or over. Right over here, you can see right now it's trading at all-time highs of 62%. 62% of people have been holding Bitcoin for at least a year. If you look back to the last part in the cycle, Bitcoin did something like that. That was back over here in this area where Bitcoin continued to peak out for quite a time before it had its first pullback. That's when the bull market really got going, when it had the first pullback, you could see. And the entire bull market, you're seeing the percentage of people owning Bitcoin going from a high number, as it is now 62%, going down, dropping all the way down towards, this looks to me somewhere around the 45% level. When it gets to around 45%, that's when Bitcoin in the past has peaked out. That's the top of the halving cycle. Look, you can see it again over here. So this is just some further data which goes ahead and actually affirms the thesis that I hold about Bitcoin, showing what's happening on chain also has direct correlation to what's happening price during those 4-year cycles. You could see over here was the top of the first halving cycle, and you could see down there the amount of people owning Bitcoin for over a year was around 40%, sometimes even a little bit lower, down to 35%. Now when Bitcoin peaked out, right, when Bitcoin found its low and then started its bull run, that's when price was held against, we were up around 60%. We're right here around 59, 58%, and we're just holding out there until it comes off. That's when the Bitcoin price really gets going. That's where we are right here in the cycle right now, as price remains on these over all-time high rates of 60% of people owning Bitcoin for over a year or longer. That's when you're going to see now, right now, the price start shooting up, and you're going to see that changing as there's going to be a lot of adoption of Bitcoin. You're going to see a lot of new buyers coming in at much higher prices until we get back down towards, or at least below the 50% level. Below 50%, that's when you want to be mindful of taking profits out of this next cycle. Which brings up the question that even if we fall down to 4,000 right now, even if Bitcoin goes ahead and tests near the low from the March crisis, is it going to trigger anyone who's holding Bitcoin for a year longer to sell? No. That already happened back in March, and the holders didn't sell. So what would happen that would make them, instead they would actually step in and buy. Adam Back replying that if it did happen, if we saw 4,000, he knows that he would be buying more. He said it would probably resemble something that happened back in May of 2015, where there was an inverted Bird J Khalifa price formation, barely held under $200 for a few hours and took off like a rocket, still holding on to that buy to this day. What he's saying, if we were to see some type of pullback that challenged the March lows over here when we traded around 4,000, obviously you have to believe that could happen again if we had a liquidity crisis again. It doesn't look like we're having any type of dollar issues right now. There's no shortage of dollars. So there's nothing that would trigger. Remember back in September, October, November, December, we were seeing the repo market and it kept getting out of control. We were having issues with the dollar and the piping of the system, of the dollar-based system. That's not happening right now. So nothing should really shock us to the downside. If we went back down to 4,000, it would probably only last momentarily. That would be definitely a place that I would also be buying. But right now, I have orders in at 8,500. I have orders in at 8,500 and 82, and I don't know that they will get filled. But if they do, I'll be happy to pick up Bitcoin right now, buying off of support. Again, if we broke this level over here, if we broke the 8,100 level, if we broke under this trend line over here, which should now be support, breaking below that trend line over there, and then this horizontal support at 8,100, call it, that would open up further downside on Bitcoin. That could open up 6,500. Again, that would be a place I'd be looking to buy, but that all could happen. And if you think about it, if you just pause for a second, a 30% pullback from where we are right now, right? 30% pullback from the high we just put in, that would just bring us back down towards 7,200. I do not think we go lower than 7,200 at any time over here. Again, I don't know if my orders get filled at 8,500 and 8,200, right? If they break 8,100, we're going down further, even as far as 6,500. but I don't think that we're taking out 7,200 before making new highs over here at 10,400 and the bull market begins. Even then, even when the bull market begins, even when we take out that strong, that resistance here at 10,400, right? And the bull market might begin sooner. The bull market might begin sooner. The more we consolidate in this area, if we're breaking it out over here, right, and prices around 90, 93, 9,400, 9,400, you know, that might be the start of the bull market. It depends when we get the breakout. It depends when we get the breakout and how far away. But right now, the safe line is 10,400. Once we get above there, I think we see a pretty swift move to 12,000. We'll see. I think it's coming soon. That's an update on Bitcoin, though. I wanted to really give everyone a good look at what's going on with Bitcoin. I know that everyone knows my position and firm belief on Bitcoin. This is the instrument to be focused in on right now. It's getting ready to break out over here. Everything is going well for Bitcoin fundamentally, technically. This is when big moves happen. We're looking at a 10 to 35x, depending on the euphoria in Bitcoin coming, and we're about to break out here.